We're going to begin with breaking news. President Joe Biden is coming to the Triad.
White House press confirmed that he will be here next Thursday to discuss parts of his Building a Better America plan. This includes efforts to improve supply chain issues and bringing down rising inflation costs. The trip will be Biden's first time coming to Greensboro as president. His wife, First Lady Jill Biden, visited the city during his presidential run. He also came to town while campaigning as a vice presidential candidate with Barack Obama.
We will have full coverage of the president's trip to the Triad right here on WFNY News 2. Stick with us both on air and online for the latest developments, including the time and location of that visit.
Now it's time to turn to another big story of the hour. Triad baseball is back, so grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks or Jill's. It's opening day.
Yes, an exciting day, and as you can see, we have a full house today. We got Eric Chilton, Amanda Ferguson, and Tim Buckley. He's with us today, as well as Stacey
excited
Spivey.
for baseball.
Yeah, and the weather seems pretty nice for it.
It's doable. I think Eric was trying to say something.
Yeah, I was waiting to hear
What do
it.
you think, Eric?
It's going to be a great day today. Sorry, guys. I know we got the delay thing going on. So, yeah, apologize for that. Hey, we're going to have fun because we're talking about First National Bank Field. We've got the Hoppers opening weekend happening as we speak today. First pitch, 6:30. It is going to be a blast, and we're all very excited finally that baseball is back, right? I mean, not only on the local level, but national as well. So we're lucky enough to have our new owner with us today. Andy Sandler joins us here, the new owner of the Grasshoppers, and man, baseball's back.
Baseball is back. Boy, we've been waiting for this to happen, huh?
I know, waiting for it. And you know, we were speaking earlier in the week, and when I'd asked you, I was like, why North Carolina? Why'd you buy the team and that type of thing, and the owners? And I did not know that North Carolina had a baseball reputation.
Well, North Carolina is widely viewed within baseball world as the single best place to play minor league baseball. We've got 12 teams in the Carolinas, so travel is great, the climate is great. And North Carolina fans, they love their baseball, dating all the way back to the old Milltown rivalries in the early 20th century. Best state in the country for baseball.
And one thing you brought up was that, you know, this park is a beautiful facility, and there's so much more than just baseball that we could do with this, right? And you want this to be more of a community gathering area.
We do. We view ourselves as trustees of a public asset. And so we're gonna bring concerts, we're gonna bring other sporting events, we're gonna have food and beverage all week when the stadium is closed. We really want people to think about this as Greensboro's public park.
It's a gathering place.
It is a gathering place.
That's
right.
kind of what it is. Yeah, we're looking at some images right now of, you know, the players are all back in full swing. Everybody's ready. I mean, I think the excitement builds until, and with all the MLB stuff that was going on, people were really turning to the local minor league teams even more than before.
Absolutely. And, you know, one thing, you know, the Pirates are our major league partner, and their farm system, I think, is rated number 3 in all of the major leagues this year. And if you look behind you, we got some big, strong, young kids out there who can play ball. This is going to be great baseball here in Greensboro this year.
Yeah, by the way, we were watching guys crush it earlier, like for both teams out here knocking it out of the park. So
unbelievable.
Come on out here. Look, first pitch 6:30. You still have time to gather your things together. Andy and I will be out here.
Find me, tell me that you watch this, and I'll buy you a beer.
Ah, look at that. Oh, he's opened up the door now. Here we go.
We are at Truist Stadium getting ready for opening night here. The Dashing Crawdads, Hickory Crawdads take the field later. But first, I'm with Brian DeAngelis, the general manager here. Brian, getting ready for a new season. How does it feel to have baseball back?
It's crazy. It's been a while since we had a normal opening day, so it's very exciting. I mean, players are out here, the sun is out, a lot of great promotions set for this year, and opening night is going to be awesome. It's going to be the biggest opening night we've actually had in 10 years already, so tickets have gone pretty fast. So if you're looking to come tonight, I'd recommend getting those tickets now.
What can fans expect tonight out of this big opening night?
Well, there's a lot. We have paratroopers happening. We built new bars, new beverage options, food options. One of the ones that I personally like the most is we have Dash and Go, which is an in-seat delivery service for food and beverage. So I'm not a big fan of waiting in lines, and I like to drink some beer. So you can just sit right on your phone, order a beer, and someone's going to bring it down to you. So that's by far my favorite thing we're doing so far.
And we can see a few of the players getting warmed up. What can we expect out of this team that you guys have right now?
Yeah, so actually I was just talking to the manager, Bundy, and he's very excited about this team on field here. We have a couple good draft picks in the pitching rotation, so that's something that's going to be interesting. And a little difference this year, we have some new rule changes. The bases are a little bit bigger. We have a pitch clock out here as well, which is a factor in the game that in high A we haven't had to use very long. So I spent my time in AAA last year, and it definitely had an impact on the game. So I'm really curious to see how that pans out this year.
Well, we're gonna stick around and talk to him a little bit later on, but first we're gonna see what the weather is for tonight if you're coming out to see some baseball. Tim.
Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, baseball, we usually think about the warmth and the summer and all that. Well, spring, it still can be a little bit of both. Right now, a little cool outside. So over in Winston-Salem for the Dash, winds are going to be a bit of a factor. It'll be a little breezy. So if you're headed out, sweatshirt, jacket should do you just fine. First pitch temperatures at around 58 or so, but keep in mind, it's going to be cooling. So by those later innings, it might be as cool as the low 50s. There is a low chance of a shower, but I wouldn't really worry much about that. If you get one, it lasts 5 minutes. It's no big deal. Same idea in Greensboro for the Hoppers. Of course, their game time is at 6:30 tonight. Again, in the upper 50s to start, but low 50s to finish. It's a cool feel out there, but it's still baseball. You're not going to sweat. Very comfortable. Just dress for the outdoor occasion. As far as the weekend, we're going to see more of this cool weather. We'll talk more about your weekend triad forecast and the 7-day coming up.
Tim, thank you. Right now, the White House is celebrating Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, our nation's newest Supreme Court justice. Today, both President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris congratulated Judge Jackson just one day after her historic confirmation. The moment was truly one of many firsts, with VP Harris, historic in her own right, presiding over the Senate vote.
In my family, it took just one generation to go from segregation to the Supreme Court of the United States. It has taken 232 years and 115 prior appointments for a Black woman to be selected to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States. But we've made it.
With 2 Black justices and 4 women, the court will become the most diverse body our nation has ever seen. Judge Jackson's swearing in won't happen immediately. She's replacing retiring Justice Stephen Breyer, who will serve until the current term ends this summer.
Now let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. The Motion Picture Academy has banned Will Smith for 10 years. This includes any Academy events like the Oscars. The ban follows Smith slapping comedian Chris Rock at last week's ceremony after a joke made about Will's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Will resigned from the Academy last week, apologizing for his actions and saying he would accept any further consequences. Right now, Greensboro police are investigating a shooting they say happened on Randleman Road. Details right now are limited, but officers say they found someone with gunshot injuries at the scene. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number we have listed at the bottom of your screen. This is a developing story that we are closely monitoring. We know more about a 20-year-old woman shot and killed in Winston-Salem Sunday night. Officers found Bria Robinson lying on a driveway on Flag Street with gunshot wounds. When EMS arrived, they tried to save her, but she was already dead. Today, we spoke with her mother. She says she hopes everyone remembers the type of person Bria was. Take a listen.
She was a great mom. I mean, she wouldn't let anybody. I mean, that's all she talked about was Jace. Jace was her world. Jace was everything.
Police have not released any suspect information regarding Robinson's death. This is an ongoing investigation. We'll keep you updated when we find out more details. A new ruling allows President Joe Biden's federal vaccine requirement to stand. This means all government employees must get vaccinated against COVID-19. The decision came down in a New Orleans appeals court. The White House hasn't released a comment on the ruling. We'll keep you posted on the developing story. 4 private citizens are on a rocket ride to space. It's the first fully commercial flight to the International Space Station. The American, Canadian, and Israeli executives are paying $55 million apiece for the rocket ride and their stay. The capsule is scheduled to dock at the ISS tomorrow morning. Once they get settled, the private crew will spend their next 8 days participating in research projects before returning to Earth on the 19th. We'll be right back.
This week, President Joe Biden provided an update on his trucking action plan. It is one way he hopes to strengthen our nation's supply chains. The plan involves recruiting more veterans and women to the trucking industry to offset the driver shortage. The president says getting more big rigs on the roads will help keep more products on the shelves.
In the last 90 days, 100 major employers have launched new registered apprenticeship programs. UPS, Domino's, Pepsi's, Albertsons, and more, along with the trade associations like the American Trucking Association, the National Minority Trucking Association, the Food Industry Association, and others. What that all adds up to is a strong foundation for the work ahead, a pipeline of hardworking men and women from all backgrounds, highly trained and highly motivated to get behind the wheel.
A Triad area community college is one of those groups working to help tackle the national truck driver shortage. According to the American Trucking Association, the current driver shortage has risen to 80,000. That's an all-time high for the industry. Dr. Douglas Underwood is the director of the Surrey Community College Yadkin Center. He says SCC's truck driver training program is helping to fill in the gap.
Just in Surrey and Yadkin County, there's about 200 openings for CDL drivers at various areas. I know just locally in Yadkin County, we had around 40 some jobs open from our local trucking companies just in Yadkin County and Surrey.
11 students recently graduated from the truck driver training program at the Yadkin Center. Underwood says graduates are qualified to take the commercial driver's license test and can then get jobs with commercial trucking firms.
Students will start out making somewhere around 50 to 60 a year. And the estimates are with years experience that can go up to $70,000 or $80,000 depending on what company they work for.
SCC is offering 2 sections of truck driver training classes starting this summer. The first will run May 26th through August 4th. Underwood says most tuition can be covered by grants. Walmart is also trying to add more truck drivers to its ranks by offering starting salaries up to $111,000. That's up from the current average of about $88,000 a year. The company is also starting a 12-week program in Texas and Delaware to allow current employees to earn their commercial driver's license.
If you're looking to start a new career, you might want to listen to today's U Day moment. Coach Lamont has a message about watching the company that you keep.
A great proverb says that fire and gunpowder never share the same space. Make sure you are in the right situations because everyone can't handle your personality. You have been trying to fit in with people that will never accept who you are. Never force acceptance. Find the right atmosphere that will accept you for you. Now, my wife always says, find a place where you are celebrated, not tolerated. If they can't accept the gift you are, then it's time to find a group that will. No need to put your fire out just because other people can't handle the heat you bring. People will always find a reason to criticize, but when their criticism takes root in your heart, you have already lost yourself. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's a great message. Surround yourself with good people. When I go and speak to students, that's one of the things I often say is, you want to surround yourself with good people, because I know in my personal life, my friends, my family, the people that I care about, they help me to stay motivated, they inspire me, and those are the kind of people that you want to have in your circle.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, if someone in your life is not doing anything to help you grow or become a better person, if they're bringing you down, then they're not worth in your life, they're not worth being in your life anymore, if I could get that out right. I've had friends in my life that have come and gone and I miss them, but I know that maybe they were just there for a season of life. I needed them for some kind of reason, and they'll always be there, but might not necessarily need them exactly now.
And energies are contagious, so when you're around people who might not be the best for you, you start to take in that energy, or you might start to get, as I like to say, lost at sea. But when you're with some good people, you want to be the best that you can be. So
yeah,
gotta look
pick
out for
people to surround you that lift you up and not bring you down.
Yeah, make you feel good. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
I won't see y'all at the Wyndham this year since y'all weren't allowed to shoot it last year per company policy or whatever.
That's right. Hey there. Yep. I'm here. Check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Check. Where do you want me to be?
You're good there.
Okay. Toss to Tim. Okay. Yeah, please do. It'd be better if it was Don. Hey, you know what? It is baseball time, people. They got the tunes cranking up here. I can already smell the hot dogs. We're ready to go. The grandstand is getting ready to serve all their drinks out here. People are ready to have a good time. First pitch is 6:30. This is going to be fun. They're playing the Braves tonight, the Rome Braves, and this is the opening day of the season. First National Bank Field getting ready to crank it up. I can tell you firsthand, these people are excited. I was walking around a little bit earlier talking with some of the people that work here, and they were like, we're ready. It's been a long time. We're ready to get things going again, get people back in. Weather is pretty decent. I've noticed the clouds starting to build in. I'll tell you one thing. Don't follow the advice of Chilton, because I don't take jackets anywhere. It's chilly. You just need a jacket. You're going to be okay. It's not a big deal. Buckley's out there. He's going to back me up. Oh, look. Now, photographer Brian Hall said I could borrow his jacket.
Oh, isn't that
Buckley,
nice?
you do need this. It's a little bit windy.
Look,
not
a little
bad.
fleece.
Yeah, how nice.
We're going to get Eric dressed up properly. But yeah, all you should need tonight it's a bit of a light jacket. It really depends on the person. We all know folks are hot-natured, cold-natured, whatever. But it is going to be in the 50s out there. And we're feeling a little bit more fall-like than spring-like, let's say, at the moment. It's not a bad day by any means. We have sun, 63 degrees. That's good. But when the sun goes down and you're out at the ballpark, that's when you'll start to feel that chill settling in. Right now, 50s already in the foothills, 54 currently in Wilkesboro. It's in the 40s up in Galax, 60 on the nose in Greensboro, and some low 60s to the south. This is what gets you, though. That wind is blowing pretty strongly. You can see it in Eric's live shot there. Sustained at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, but of course, it's usually a little gustier than the sustained winds. We have some occasional gusts as high as about 30 miles per hour for today. So far, so good with the rain potential. We have not really seen more than a sprinkle in some spots. The foothills having a little bit more than that, but overall, you're pretty much going to be dry this afternoon and evening. The mountains of North Carolina actually are already seeing snow. If you can believe it, they're expecting snow this weekend, and it could even accumulate a little bit. Overnight tonight, we have a frost advisory. Here's why. Temperatures bottoming out in the mid and upper 30s. You'll want to cover up any of those tender vegetation, those plants that don't like cold weather. You know which ones they are. If they can't handle frost, cover them up. A little piece of fabric, a sheet, whatever should be good to go for tonight. Just remember to take it off early tomorrow morning because that sunshine can harm the plants as well. For tomorrow, it's a lot like today. Still breezy. It'll be cool. The high is actually only in the mid 50s for tomorrow. And we'll have sun in the morning and clouds for the afternoon. Sunday, a better day. It's a cold morning, but it won't be as windy. You get a little warmer and you'll have more sunshine. 63 there. Warmer weather coming on back. We're in the 80s, if you can believe it, going into next week.
Hey there, mic check, 1 2 1 2. This is the social segment, correct? Yes, it is. Check, check, 1 2. Look at that, typed out. Look how prepared I am. I've done this a couple times. Hey, Facebook. We are live on Facebook right now. They just told me, they said talk to Facebook, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to Facebook. Can we show you what's going on? Oh, they've already stopped. But I will tell you that we saw about 4 balls get hit out of the park already. I don't know if it's the players or just juice that it's the first day or they're that good. Was that us or the other team, B? I couldn't even. That was us. Good. That's always good to hear. First pitch at 6:30 tonight. Here's the other team. That's the Rome Braves coming out. They're getting ready to warm up a little bit. And so you got a couple hours, right, until you can come out here, have a good time. They are cranking the tunes. We've already got the food starting to get heated up out here. This is going to be fun. I'll tell you, from a forecast standpoint, you just need a light jacket. It'll be a little breezy. You might want the jacket and maybe something, a cap or something on your head. It's not really that bad. Send me messages in the WFMY News 2 Facebook live stream and let me know what's your favorite ballpark food. We're going to talk about what some of you have said coming up. In just a second, we got to go. Bye. We'll see you live on TV. In case you were just joining us, we are live at First National Bank Field, home of the Greensboro Hoppers. It is opening night, people. It's a great way to kick off the weekend. They'll be playing all through the weekend, so get out here. First pitch at 6:30. Everybody talks about their favorite parts to the game. Sometimes people just like to socialize out here. Sometimes I used to call these people hopperheads because these are the guys that are super into the minor league baseball, and they're watching the team and keeping stats. Or you may like the food, like me. That's got to be top 3 for me, I would say, the food. So I asked you on Facebook to tell me your favorite ballpark food, and answers were kind of all over the place. I mean, I was thinking that hot dog is number 1 on my list, but we'll see. All right, let's see what we go to the boards here. Candy Lynn Burt, who she's a regular here, she said always a great hot dog. I'm with you on that, Candy. Nicholas said hot dogs and cold beer. Tim said beer, peanuts, and hot dogs. Are you getting the theme? Hot dogs in here everywhere. Not Eileen. She said chicken tenders and fries. Holly Andrews said peanuts and the Dippin' Dots. Okay, that's why my kids come. It's all about the Dippin' Dots. And it was funny. One other guy posted, he said, I like the ice cream that comes in those tiny little dots. He didn't know they were called Dippin' Dots. Michael Lee says a sausage dog with grilled onions and peppers. And he even got specific and said where he likes it. It's from the little stand on the third base side of the concourse. I think he's talking about where we are right now. He narrowed it down to the hot dog stand in the stadium. He knew exactly where to go and get it.
Okay, so as far as my favorite goes, besides the drinks, I think would have to be a hamburger. I'm a hamburger girl, but Lauren, I know you like hot dogs.
No, I'm more of a hamburger girl.
Oh, you are?
I'm more of a
I'm
hamburger
getting you confused
girl.
with somebody.
But if I do get a hot dog, I need it kind of extra charred. But
okay.
I would say my favorite ballpark food would probably be popcorn or French fries.
Oh, yeah, they usually have French fries.
Yeah.
Chilton, what about you?
I'm kind of, I don't know. That's a tough one. I would say hot dog, but the way I like hot dogs, I usually can't get them at stadiums. I like a Chicago dog. You know what that? If you're familiar
Is
with
that
where
when
they
it's
have
like
peppers on
loaded
it
with
and
different toppings?
Yeah, it's got like a relish and then like a pepper and then little hot peppers on it. You know me and the hot peppers.
That sounds delicious. I might become a hot dog person if I try that one.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think you can convince me. I'm just there to have a fun time.
We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back to the 4 to 5. We are so excited. Eric Chilton with you at this next half hour, and we're live at First National Bank Field. In case you didn't know, and where have you been? Under a rock if you didn't know this. Hoppers back in town. It is opening night. It's going to be fun. First pitch at 6:30. Come on out and join us. Have a great time tonight. We're going to be talking with everybody associated with the Hoppers coming up. We have the general manager, Donald Moore, coming up later on in our 6 o'clock broadcast. And we got to let you know about all the special deals they have. That's coming up in just a bit. It is hopping fun, as they say out here.
It's also Winston-Salem, the Dash, their opening night, which we're excited about as well. It's Fun Friday on your 4 to 5. And we've got Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley in the house.
Tim Buckley in the house, and we want to welcome you all back to the show if you're watching on air, online, or the WFNY News 2 app.
And Tim, we're going to go ahead and start off with you because people heading out to these games want to know, do they need a jacket?
Do you need the jacket? Do you need the umbrella? All those things. I do think you can leave the rain gear at home. That's mostly the good news here. Now, this is not midsummer. It's not June or July. We get this sometimes. It's going to be a little cooler for opening night. We see that sometimes. 7 o'clock is the first pitch over in Winston-Salem. We're looking at 56 degrees for your first pitch. Now keep in mind, if you're staying until the 9th inning, it's going to be cooling off quite a bit. It might be as cool as 51 or 49. So bundle up. It's a little breezy and cool, but a sweatshirt, a light jacket, it should do you just fine. Go out, celebrate, enjoy just the fact that we can do stuff outside. Again, this is good news. We're going to have hot ball games many months here in the Triad. Pretty good weather out there. Eric Chilton is hopefully appropriately dressed. Eric, how's it looking out there at the ballpark?
Yeah, leave it to me to not have a coat on. I can't stand to carry coats around, but I'm telling you, as Tim said, take a jacket. You will need it. Hey, I just want to go over a couple of things with you as we're talking about things that have changed from last year to this year. And of course, everybody loves Thursdays. We'll talk about that. But I wanted to kind of read through a list for you because there are some new things here. And you heard the owner, Andy Sandler, say earlier, they really want this stadium to be really as much of a community gathering place as it is baseball. So when baseball's not in town, then they could actually do some other things. They do have, starting on Tuesday, any Tuesday game that they have, $2 hot dogs, beers, and soda. So that's new. And then Wednesdays, they have White Claw Wednesdays. There are going to be deals on White Claws out here and reduced price on those days. Now, you get to Thursday, you don't mess with something if it works, right? And all of Greensboro loves the Thirsty Thursday. That would be $2 beers and $4 craft beers. And then this is new and this is big. So Friday and Saturday nights, we have fireworks. Every time the Hoppers are playing at home on a Friday or a Saturday, they will have fireworks, both days if need be. So that's a big deal. And then COVID, you know, we couldn't do this last year, but now this is back on Sundays. You can take your kids down on the field and play catch with your kids on the field before the game starts in a certain designated time that they have. And then after the game, they allow you to run the bases. And if you've been out here and seen that in years past, it's so much fun, a great bonding experience for parents and their kids. Now it's back, and thank goodness, you know, we have that in person. So that first pitch, of course, at 6:30 tonight. One of the things that I like to do is, you know, we talked to the new owner, which is super exciting, but the field manager, Calix Crabb, is coming up right here. Come on up. Look, he's literally just walking up. Sorry. That's all right. You grab that microphone when we get there. We got a few seconds left, but I want to chat with you. How you doing, man?
How you doing, Calix?
Nice and chilly, right?
This actually isn't too bad. Even though I'm from the Virgin Islands, I can live with this. A little bit colder, probably not, but this is pretty good right now.
Tell me about the team this year. What are we looking at?
Good group, man. Highly energetic group, passionate about the game, young. You'll see them play the game, you know, with a lot of fire. They're close because they won the Florida State League championship last year. So they'll have their ups and downs, but I think it's going to be a good group.
We were watching them warm up, and there were 4 or 5 that just crushed it out of it. Yeah. I mean, you got some good hitters then.
Yeah, so that's the MO of this team. Obviously, the pitching is going to be good as well. Really good arms. Last year, a ton of guys hit a ton of home runs and control the strike zone pretty decently. So they're fun.
We're excited, man. We're excited. You know, this area loves it. So this is we're pumped about this. So thanks for stopping by with us. It's going to be a great season, guys. Make sure you come out tonight. 6:30, first pitch. We'll be here.
Eric, thank you. Hoppers games are fun for all ages. Pups included. Check out the team's new bat dog, Willie Mae Mays.
Oh, look at her go. This week, Will May will spend some time working out with the players and training for her new job.
Aww.
You'll be able to watch her retrieve bats at the Grasshoppers home opener tonight. Now, that is something that I want to experience because I know last year when I first got here, they weren't doing the bat dog stuff. So now with the COVID restrictions loosened, I'm excited to get out there.
It's honestly one of my favorite parts about going to a Hoppers game because they're just so cute. Look at that.
Yeah.
So cute. She's just so happy to go and get those bats.
And I think it just makes it unique for the city. Like every team has its thing, and this is like Greensboro's thing. So I think that that's pretty cool. I'm glad it's back in action. So beautiful.
She might need a little jacket tonight. But of course, we cannot forget about the Winston-Salem Dash. We want to go ahead and take a live look at Truist Stadium, where in just a few hours, players will be stepping up to bat. You can see the field is all ready and nicely manicured in preparation for opening day. You can see some guys out there already starting to warm up and get ready for their game. A little chilly for baseball tonight, but that's not going to keep fans from going out there for opening day. This team will face off against Hickory. Their first pitch is set for 7 o'clock tonight. Best of luck.
And today is also a big day for golf. The 2022 Masters is underway. Plus, it's Tiger Woods' first return to a major tournament since his life-threatening car crash.
A lot of eyes on that. Catch all the action right here on WFMY. Watch highlights on late night from Augusta tonight at 11:35. And don't miss third round coverage from 3 to 7 on Saturday and final round action from 2 to 7 on Sunday.
Now let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Today, a Kernersville man pled guilty for his actions before and during the U.S. Capitol riot last year. According to court documents, Charles Donahoe was one of the highest-ranking members of the Proud Boys at the time of the attack. The DOJ says Donahoe threw 2 water bottles at law enforcement officers who were trying to stop the mob. They also say he joined a crowd that attempted to climb the concrete stairs towards the Capitol. Donahoe faces 2 felony charges. One has him looking at 20 years in prison. The other could mean 8. A sentencing court date has not yet been set. Spring break for many triad schools is right around the corner, and many travelers are looking to hit the skies. Airlines said after 2 years of dealing with the pandemic, they expect to be on track for a huge uptick in travelers. Demand is showing up through increased bookings ahead of one of the busiest travel times of the year. Experts encourage anyone flying this week to arrive at least 3 hours early to help deal with long lines. Guilford County Commissioners could lower property taxes. They passed the resolution last night. The tax comes down on 2 conditions. Both the school bond referendum and quarter-cent sales tax increase have to pass on the May 17th ballot. The sale tax increase would cover $1.5 billion bonds to repair schools. Guilford County schools. It's not yet clear exactly how much property tax would go down. We'll keep you posted.
We present Miss Harper with the royal sash and crown.
That's Leah Carper, the 2022 Burroughs Welcome Fund North Carolina Teacher of the Year. The Northern Guilford English teacher surprised today with an assembly to celebrate her new title and her accomplishments in the classroom, especially through the pandemic. Carper is a Triad native who has been teaching since 2006. She says she always wanted to be a teacher, and it's the students that make her want to come back every year.
The thing that I look forward to the most every day is the smile on my students' faces, the interaction that I can have with them, and the hope that something I say sparks something inside of them that they'll remember.
Carper first won Northern's Teacher of the Year before winning the district and regional titles. As Teacher of the Year for the state, she will spend the next school year traveling across the state as a teacher ambassador. She also gets a handful of prizes, including more than $8,000 in cash and a trip to the International Space Camp.
To be the Teacher of the Year for over 100,000 educators in North Carolina, to be the Teacher of the Year for the 1.5 million public school students in North Carolina, so humbling.
Carper says in the next year as ambassador, she hopes to bring perspective to those who make decisions about education. And from all of us here at News 2, congratulations. Yes, she deserves a A round of applause from everyone. I'm not kidding. I enjoyed every minute with her today. She has this contagious, bright, colorful energy that you just want to be around all day. So I can only imagine how her students feel in her classroom.
And you know, our teachers, they do so much, and you just think about the past 2 years with this pandemic. Teaching protocols have changed from virtual to back in classroom, and so for her to get this achievement to be the top teacher in the state, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and she won this award for her teaching during the pandemic. So that says even more about her teaching. And she said, you know, that was a huge change from being a teacher since 2006 to all of a sudden everything she's known about teaching changed in an instant. So she clearly handled it really well, and all the students were just so happy for her.
I like her tiara.
I know. And she was dancing and getting down. I had the best time out there. It was a little windy though, Tim.
Always something with the weather, right? We always have something blowing us around. The wind is up, the cold weather, it hasn't quite gotten here just yet, but overnight tonight, we're in blue again. That color means a frost advisory. You're gonna have to cover up those plants if they can't handle the cold. Chilly weather tomorrow morning. We'll have a look at your full weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and I'll tell you when spring really starts to return. I have some 80s in the forecast. That's ahead. Stay with us.
Hey, B, look on that. It says I tossed to Tim, doesn't it? I'm just chatting for how long before I toss to Tim?
1 minute, hit toss to Tim.
1 minute?
Yeah, you toss to?
Okay, 1:15.
Yeah, you toss to?
Tim. Timmy! All right, welcome back to First National Bank Field, and yes, it's opening day. I'll tell you, let me tell you the best thing about doing these live shots out here is not the fact that you get to have food first, which is, you know, pretty big in my book. The tunes. It's a party. You should come early and just sit in the stands and have a good time. Yeah, hey, the Rome Braves are back behind. They're taking batting practice back there before the game tonight. A little chilly, so everybody's got to warm up. This is fun, right? And you just heard their field manager, Calix Crabb, best name in minor league baseball, say that the Hoppers have some big hitters this year, so we'll see how these guys stack up against them. We talked about the new things this year, right? And it's really cool that every single Friday and Saturday they will have fireworks. That's a big deal. The little ones love that. I mean, heck, so do the grown-ups, actually. And I'm going to get a photographer here, Brian, just to hand me this, because the first 1,500 people that get in here tonight get this really cool puzzle that, and it's all free. The first 1,500 people, that's a freebie that you can get tonight. It's going to be a blast. So that's kind of what the park looks like right now. Come on out here and enjoy this. This is going to be a ton of fun. We had said throughout the show that, yeah, you know, a little bit chilly, could be worse. A jacket will solve that, and we're not worried too much about, at least not heavy rain, right? We're going to see what Tim Buckley says about that right now. Tim, a little chilly, a little breezy, but it's manageable.
We can manage, Eric. They'll definitely get the ball game in. I like that print. That puzzle looks really nice. I always think that's one of the best views of the Greensboro skyline is out there at the ballpark. So pretty cool. I'm bad at puzzles, though, so I'll stick to the weather. It is a little on the cool side right now. Mid-50s in the foothills right now. It's been actually getting cooler all day in some spots. We're hanging right around 60 in the Triad, but it's one of these days where once you see the sun go down, your temperature is going to fall pretty quickly. So just be ready to bundle for the rest of this evening. We still have the wind out there also. It's kind of gusty. It's been getting windier throughout the course of the afternoon as we've been expecting. We have this low pressure area moving in. We call it an upper level low, and it makes for windy weather. 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts can be expected the rest of the day today, and we'll do that again for tomorrow. Today and tomorrow are kind of the same type of weather. And you can see on radar, I know it looks like a lot of rain, but honestly, I haven't even heard of many sprinkles reaching the ground just yet. So we're pretty much on the dry side for this evening, aside from perhaps a brief little light shower. It will be getting cold though, 35, 33 in parts of the Triad overnight. It really depends on where you are, but it would be a good idea to cover up some of those plants that really just don't tolerate frost too well. You talk about cold weather, winter weather, look at the North Carolina mountains. It is April, but this is something that is happening. Several inches of snow. Yeah, that's real. That could be happening on some of the highest slopes up in the North Carolina mountains this weekend. Hard to believe, right? For tomorrow, 40 or so in the morning, some 30s are there as well. As we go throughout the afternoon, clouds are thickening up. It's just like today. Sunny early on, cloudy for the afternoon, and it's cold and windy. Our highs are only in the 50s for your Saturday. Sunday, we start the morning with frost. That's a cold start, but it warms up better than Saturday does. We'll have highs in the mid 60s, and there will be some sunshine. More sunshine, less windy. That's a good day to finish off the weekend. Heading into next week, this is your spring fever. Look at that. Upper 70s, close to 80. Air conditioning weather, I guess. We're doing that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Looks like a front starts to head our way by Good Friday toward the end of next week.
Tim, thank you. Because it's cold, you may want to grab your popcorn, remote, and your kiddos because we've got a News 2 review good for the entire family.
WFNY News 2 photojournalist Manning Franks, who's now an official member of the North Carolina Film Critics Association, takes a look at the hotly debated Disney Plus movie, Turning Red.
Oh, hi. Sorry. Didn't see you there. Have you ever been so enraptured by a film that you knew within the first 5 or so minutes of viewing it that you knew you were going to be on board? Well, that's the same experience that I had with Pixar's Turning Red, a film that, while hitting traditional coming-of-age story beats, oozes such infectious personality and genuine heart that you can't help but have a smile on your face the entire time.
May, breakfast is ready. It's coming. It's gonna be May.
Turning Red tells the tale of Mei Lee, a self-assured and energetic 13-year-old who has had her whole life planned out by her overbearing mother. Yet, just as children grow up, so do their own ideas about themselves and the world around them evolve. That becomes complicated when she is torn between the expectations of her mother and her budding desire for autonomy. To cap it off, her growing up difficulty is personified by a curse within her family line that turns her into a giant red panda.
This happened already? What did you say?
From synopsis alone, Turning Red is one of those films that expertly tips its own scales from comedy to drama, dealing with heavy universal themes and providing numerous laughs for both kids and adults. It's one of those films that, while still under the banner for Pixar, distinguishes itself by having its own unique sense of humor. One could describe it as singing the same tune as kids of the 90s, but presenting it in a creative way that feels fresh and accessible to all audiences. The dynamic energy of the animation, the tone, and the genre-mixing score help to keep a kinetic drive all the way to the fantastical climax. In addition, Mei Lee proves to be a compelling and relatable character not only for kids of today, but to kids of yesteryear. In particular, the candid conversations regarding a young woman's journey through puberty is something that can resonate with girls both young and old. Truly much needed representation for a topic so culturally taboo. Turning Red brings hysterical hijinks, magical fantasy, and coming-of-age drama into one beautifully delicious meal, ensuring that you are treated to a sensory overload of emotional fulfillment. Truly, a great addition to Pixar's pantheon. Now, if you excuse me, I'm listening to the soundtrack again. I'm giving Turning Red a 2 approved. You can stream this film on Disney+.
So I have not seen this film. I love his videos
He's so
too.
precious. Love it.
But you've seen it,
So I actually watched the first, I would say 20 minutes or so, just because there's been such an uproar on Facebook about this. So I was curious, like, is it really like as bad as people are making it out to be? I personally did not see any issues with it. I will say that you probably wouldn't want to show this to your kindergartner. It's probably better for older kids, maybe that, 10 to, 14 age group would be better for it.
I was looking at what it was rated PG, which is parental guidance. So I think in any situation where there's some debate on certain topics that this movie might display, just watch it with your kids, or don't allow them to watch it, because like Manning said, it seems like it is appealing to adults as well.
Yeah, it definitely had some adult humor in there. And I think your kid may have some questions about some life things after seeing it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You just explain it to them. You can answer the question however you like.
Especially if it's certain life lessons that they're going to have to go through or experience anyway. And I think, like you said, that older age range, like 10, 11, 12, might not be too bad for them.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, so many great flicks to watch these days. I know that my to-do list is super long, so I asked you on my Facebook page, what TV shows or movies are on your weekend watch list? Andy Henderson says, my soaps I record for the week, Young and Restless and Days of Our Lives. Pearlie Thomas says season 2 of Bridgerton. Yeah, I gotta watch that too. Mike Sullivan wrote Gunsmoke, Big Valley's Saturday night horror movie of the week. Derek Pav says Better Call Saul, and then Scott Lynch says The Last Kingdom.
I have a long list as well.
A long list. Do we have time?
We have time. Okay. Bridgerton season 2.
Got to see it.
I want to finish watching The Ultimatum on Netflix. It's kind of bizarre. I want to see The Girl from Plainville, and I want to see The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Wow.
I've been watching The Girl from Plainville. There's 4 episodes out right now with Elle Fanning. It's really, really good. It sheds light on that case of the young lady that encouraged her boyfriend to take his life through text messages. But it's interesting, but the message is strong and the acting is really good.
I've been watching Yellowstone right now, which everyone yelled at me to watch for about a year. It's good, I like it, and I'm kind of plowing through slowly. I still want to watch Coda, which won the Oscar.
Yes.
I haven't seen that yet.
I still want to watch Encanto.
Yeah, and this weekend I'm going to watch baseball too. I'm going to watch the Yankees hopefully beat the Red Sox. I'm looking at Marissa over here and she's getting mad at me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, I was like, are you even going to watch any shows? Or are you just going to watch baseball?
I have the Yankees on in the green screen room right now.
Oh, wow.
So
and don't think you're not getting out of this one for not seeing Encanto
She's been
yet.
trying to get me to watch this movie for months, and I've been trying, but then my Disney Plus was acting up when I actually tried.
That doesn't sound like a real excuse, does it?
It was real.
No.
It was. No. It was like USB not connected or something weird, and I was like, it wouldn't let me watch.
I'm just gonna have to have everyone come over, and I'm gonna make everyone watch it.
Just have a movie party so we can watch it.
That's fine.
We can talk about Bruno, right?
We don't talk about Bruno.
I see. We don't talk.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Good song.
We'll be right back.
I would never encourage someone to be on. So basically the women propose to their boyfriends and they.
Mic check, let's go Yankees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hello, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. It is opening day.
Mic check 1, 2. I have waited too long. He needs to get down.
I'm all about progress, but I'm traditional when it comes to
I could not.
Jenna, you know that's on our live stream.
I can if you talk to me. I didn't hear you talking to me. I'm in IFB 5. And if you're talking to me, I can't hear anything.
Oh, you know, did you? Oh, you don't know her.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, is Williams will go, right?
I mean, they got 4 of the top 15 players.
Hey there, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello.
Hello, mic check. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check, mic check.
So it's time for my 2 cents, and today I want to talk about my third oldest because Tyler had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, buddy. He turned 12. One thing we noticed, my wife and I were talking about this last night, he got a few toys from his grandmother, but all he was asking for from us was gift cards and money. My wife and I looked at each other last night and said, you know what? Kind of miss buying those toys for that little guy. He's making that shift, right? He's a tween now, and then by next year at this time, he'll be a teenager. It's unbelievable how fast it goes. Now, he's kind of my sports buddy, right? He's my one kid that really gets into Carolina basketball and football and the NFL and that kind of thing. So you've probably seen some of these posts that I have recently. He went with me to watch the Carolina Duke game at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill. We went to Franklin Street. He got all into that, and I do love that because that is kind of that shift in becoming more of a young man instead of just a little kid. But I have to say, when I saw the gift cards instead of the toys, it made my wife and I look at each other last night and said, yeah, it's starting. Because I watched this with the twins, and now they're in college doing their own thing. You do have to kind of let go of each stage and embrace the next stage. There are good things about it, and there are sad things about it, but it's part of raising children, right? They grow up too fast. That saying is abused, but it is true. It is so true. So if you're a parent of a young kid, and you think it's so tiring and you can't wait till they can do this on their own and do that on their own, just take a deep breath, soak it all in. People told me the same thing. You don't get it when you're in it, but when you start to lose it, then you look back and miss it. But I do love every stage of raising my kids. It's a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, Tyler. You're 12 years old, and you're my sports buddy. That's just my 2 cents, and that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
President Joe Biden is coming to Greensboro next week in his first official visit to the triad since becoming president.
The White House says it's part of his push to pass his Build Back Better plan. It focuses on several aspects of our economy, like free preschool for all, better health care for older Americans, money for clean energy developments, and reducing the cost of prescription drugs. Just